Mid-swing is known as the lighthouse of OCS.
The midshipman course is the worst of time and the best of time of my life.
Although there are hard times, I think those are fond memories.
I was shortlisted for interview and they offered us overseas training. I was one of the 4 cadets sent to England, Royal Navy training. Why Navy? We thought Navy because Singapore being one of the top 5 ports then. Sea must be important, sea defense must be important. That was the reason we thought we joined the Navy. Then we started Midshipman School in 1974.
When I was recruited as a midshipman, I thought that I would be like all those officers who are before me. Then I realized, no, I'm not going to be sent overseas. I'm one of the midshipmen trained locally.
Having a local school is very important to develop capability within the country. Developing a midshipman school is one of the key things I think that the Navy has done well.
After knowing that we will be trained locally, next thing is we also get to know it will be in Sembawang camp. Then it was called terror camp.
They used to call terror camp. It terrified a lot of parents, you know. They send the children to terror camp. But it's actually one of the very famous ships of the Royal Navy called HMS Terror. But the training is tough, but it's not terror.
Sembawang camp used to be the naval HQ for the British forces. So it's a very typical colonial type building. So the school itself was a 2-story building, perched on top of a little hill, overlooking the Singapore streets.
All of us who train in Sembawang remember it as a resort. The atmosphere is very relaxed, but of course the training is not.
So during that time, our training is basically modeled according to the Commonwealth Navy or the Royal Navy. There is no simulator, there's no computer. Everything is all manual, hard work. A lot of practical things that we need to practice our own.
Mid training is tough, long hours, 60 hours a week, extensive, deliberate to toughen them. Lastly, actually the enduring human spirit. The officer work hard, strive for what they believe in, and the cadets, midshipmen, fortitude, enduring, and came through.
So my first posting to Midshipman School was actually as a senior instructor. I was designated to be the XO and chief instructor for this new OCS mid-swing that was actually moving to Southeast MI. One of the good things we did was we had a closing down of Midshipman School then. I thought it was memorable, it was good that we have a closure to where the Navy was then. And then coming here, 2 events of course stood out. One was there was this symbolic march from Wasilaba camp up the slope, and the other one which I remember fondly was of course the opening ceremony. I think it was sometime in '95.
If you ask any naval officer, MSTD is the maiden voyage of every officer's journey in the Navy would be memorable somehow or other. It's the first time you smell the seas, it's the first time you feel the roles. It's the first time you actually realize, life is more than just mid-swing and more than just classroom studies.
And every MSTD is new because we have experienced different capabilities of the cadets, and the physical demands are very high as well, especially in the academics. So I do see a lot of cadets who really have a hard time doing MSTD. But overall, after 42 days, they managed to pull through.
MSTD, in my own experience, can be a pressure cooker because the sea may be bad. Many things can happen. You are away from family.
Well, MSTD was unforgettable, I would say.
It's the first MSTD on the new endurance class LSD. That's a once-a-lifetime experience. Of course, everybody gets excited. Second is, wow, we're going to New York and many other ports that many of us won't even dream of.
As a batch, we came together to work towards a common motive, to clear all stations and to clear MSTD as a batch together.
Everybody was on the same ship as me, emotionally and physically. And then that's when I realized, we are all together as one. That pushed me to carry on to finish MSTD.
For us as an engineer, we start to be exposed to specific systems, how engineering function in the naval context. And I thought it's necessary for the engineers to also go through their deployment and to accrue these ops acumen, understanding how we play a role in supporting the operation. Whether you are an engineer on board or you are an engineer on shore supporting that operation back end.
What I learned from my MTech training is the system domain as well as the wider Navy ecosystem, and at the more leadership aspect of it is the roles and responsibilities as a leader.
For the training to still be housed in one location, Safety Mid-Swing, I think that is important because we have a common goal of training a group of officers, as I mentioned, a common outcome for leadership, regardless they are naval officers or naval engineers.
Gratitude to people who have come before and have showed us how it's done, and to the trainees who were with me, it's also a sense of gratitude for them in trusting us and trusting the process.
My officers who has trained me during my course, a big thank you to all of them. I think it's not easy to train someone who has zero knowledge about a naval environment to someone who understands how naval operation is carried out.
I think I would just like to thank my instructors for being so nurturing and caring about our welfare. I didn't realize how much they gave for us and how much they cared about us. On hindsight, then I realized they actually gave so much to us.
Coming back to MIDS is you benefited from a system, you feel that you want to come back and then nurture the next generation.
So I hope that today the new naval officers, they will continue to drive themselves as a leader.
Whatever you achieve in Navy or in life, you'll always be my midshipman. I will always be proud of each one of you.
I'm from ME5 Ko Poon Kiong, from the 64th MIDS and the 1st MTech 1.
I'm Mr. Lawrence Jeremiah, Sergeant Major for Midshipman.
My name is Lo Tan Sao. I was from the first batch of...
Yeah, my name is Yam Shun Yi. I'm also from the first batch locally trained.
I'm Chong An Si, 13 Midshipman.
I'm Lieutenant Wendy, 99 MIDS.
I'm Wan Ling. I'm from the 56th batch.
So my name is Simon. So I was the first batch, Royal Navy training.